I don't know how to turn the comments off. Oh, I have moderators in here who can turn my comments off for me. Because I don't want the comments on. Thank you, moderator. So how to start this is a good question. Can we turn multi-guest off too, please? I don't know if I'm the only one who can do that, but comments, like this, microphones, settings here. I do want to make one comment that this is going to go on to my Mama Rexa / Jennifer YouTube, because I am going to say this once, and I am not going to say it again. I'm not going to repeat myself. Once this live is over, the conversation is over. That's what this is about. I have a lot of pinpoints of a conversation, I'm kind of going to end up having to myself, but I hope people are listening, and I hope whoever is listening from the outside or listening even in here. I have a right to voice my feelings, but there's a lot of it I should have never said, TikTok or otherwise, right? I voice my feelings based off of how I'm feeling. It's my feeling. I don't expect other people to feel the same. Okay? I also want to state the friends that I do have, and the friends that have stuck around, and the people who have been here and stuck around for the long haul do hold me accountable for the mistakes that I make. They do. But they also try to understand where I am coming from as a person, right? Just like any other person in the world. And I'm going to also state this too. I am not a perfect person. I've never claimed to be a perfect person. Nothing about me is perfect. I make mistakes. But isn't that what makes us human? Right? I have recently reached out to my family and talked about a situation that may or may not would have happened. It's kind of hard to put it in words, right? I did it out of respect and love for my sister, right? And I'm not going to put any names out there because honestly, it's not what this live is about, right? I didn't think that what happened was going to happen, right? I didn't think me going to them was going to cause any harm or foul towards anybody, right? My hope was my family would have took it and been like, okay, we understand, we got it. And I even told them in the beginning that I didn't know for sure if this live was going to happen, right? Because I didn't know. It was a touch and go situation. If it was going to happen, they knew about it, right? That kind of thing. And I'm talking to all of you here on TikTok, whether people are listening or not, as if I talk with my friends, right? Or my therapist at this point, right? My heart was in a good place when I sent those messages. I wanted people to, more or less, actually, let's put it this way. More or less, I wanted my family to understand that the more they kept going, it wasn't going to disappear. Right? And I can't control them no differently than anyone else can, right? My mess up and my screw up was trusting in them that this wasn't going to go anywhere. But obviously it did. Well, that was my mistake, right? And taking accountability for things that you messed up in your life is very hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Because in everybody's head, you think you're doing the right thing, not just for yourself, but for others as well. So for you, you think you did nothing, right? In this case, I did, right? I messed up. I took a trust of a friend coming to me about something and ran with it. Which is never going to happen again. As for when I take pictures of people's messages that they send me, right? I don't do it all the time. I do it mainly to make sure that I'm not coming off as a mean person. Because in real life, once you get to know me, I'm not. I have a heart, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. Just like anybody else. Can I be cold-hearted? Of course I can. Yep, any day. Just like everybody else. That's what makes us human, right? And all I am here on this app, on any app, for example, let's put it like that. On any app, right? We're all human, right? We all make mistakes, right? But why should our mistakes be held against us until the day we die? Until the day we unalive. I'm going to put it like that because we can't say that other word. My bad.
Who fucking cares?
It's the way the app is.
I don't give a shit. I truly think you're wasting your time, babe. I truly do.
I agree with that, honestly. I do feel like I am wasting my time, but I'm gonna do this and post it on the YouTube, and
Everybody that caused all these problems in the past are a bunch of fucking pansy asses that don't know how to fucking pull the dick out their ass. And I hope they can fucking hear me.
they can definitely hear you.
It's they sit here and cry and whine to all these people about bullshit, and then when they finally go do something, the same thing that's been happening to them, they expect nothing to happen back. Like, huh?
Like, that's the moral logic, though. Like,
That's not moral logic. It's called stupidity.
for real.
It's
I don't disagree.
it's
It's everybody and anybody who does these kinds of things on TikTok or anywhere else. They can talk about somebody else, but not expect somebody to talk about them.
Exactly, and it's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Well, what happened to he said she said bullshit. Now it's he said she said, that thing said, they said.
A person over there, my neighbor.
Exactly. It's but that's the problem. Is it's never two-sided. It's never two-sided like all fights used to be.
Yep. It seems like this world wants it only to be one-sided, especially on TikTok. Everybody wants it to all be only one-sided. Only one person can talk about this, and one person can talk about that. And that's kind of how it is.
And the other thing is, it's like, if you're gonna tell me you're gonna show up at my fucking house and do something, fucking do it. If you have enough balls to tell me that, hey, I'm coming to your house to kick your ass, cool, here's my address. Show the fuck up.
Right.
Don't sit there and...
Like, let's hash this out. Like, originally, the world was supposed to be.
Fancy ass around going, do this, do that, do.
And
I just look at it as you're talking to a bunch of brick walls.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that I'm talking to a bunch of brick walls at this point, because I've tried to make my point before. And the only people who listen are the people who understand where I'm coming from. The other people are trying to morally make it right that what my family's doing is okay, but what I'm doing is not okay. For myself or for my kids, or even just mentally okay, right? It's like I've said time and time before. Do I miss my sisters? Of course I do. Do I like the decisions that they're making? No, I don't.
I love the peace and quiet.
I think we all like the peace and quiet every once in a while. I'm not gonna lie. My family is very rowdy. It's how we are. Everybody has their own opinions and their own feelings and this, that, and the third.
I know what they're going to say. I'm controlling that comment.
I would like for people to point out where.
Only place I'm controlling is the bedroom, baby.
I have 3 devices. How many of my devices do you go on? And actually look through all my stuff.
I have access to all 3, but I don't use them. I don't touch them. I have my own devices.
Right. You have your own computer. I have mine. Like, if we were sharing a computer, I could see where people are like, you know, you're going into my messages and reading this and doing that, right?
But we're sharing a computer at that point. It's not...
It's an open computer. Everybody's open to everything at that point. Like... Like, you can have your own accounts with sharing a computer, you know, get that, got that, but, I guess I'll let her up here, I guess.
Who?
It's, here, I'll just show you. She doesn't like being called by it anymore, but... It's fine.
to know he was coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah. What's going on here? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello?
I
Good
can't
afternoon.
read the room, so I don't know what's going. I can't see what's going on in the room. I think you're doing a smart thing by keeping the comments off.
I am more or
But I have
less.
been.
I am more or less.
Go ahead.
Stating my opinion on how I feel of why I walked away from certain people, why it is that I don't talk about certain situations, and I'm starting to stay out of a lot of things. Because I've tried to explain it to people privately, and obviously nobody is getting it, right? And I'm not putting any names out there. They know
Right.
who they are. They know who they
Right.
are. I'm not gonna start that shit. I'm sorry. I ain't doing that. I know with the way he just looked at me, he wanted to say the name.
No idea.
But I'm trying to
Be nice.
respectful, even though I'm not being respected at all.
Right. But
I understand that people are trying to, but you're not at all.
The best advice I can give you is, just as I'm doing, is don't bring it. If they're not going to listen in person or on the back end, they're not going to listen here. You're just giving more ammo for them to use. So instead of dragging it on, as I'm not doing, is just go your way. Don't allow it.
Like, I understand what you're saying because I've done that, right?
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. I still kept getting dragged by everyone. And at this point, I decided to walk away again. And yet, and I'm just going to state my name because everybody does anyway, Jennifer is still the problem. It's like I tell people, damned if I do and damned if I don't, right?
Right. Nobody notices what I do until I don't do it.
Right.
So my best advice to you is they've got this nice little button on this app, and it's called
I love this button.
Block and Move On. Instead of dragging down mental health, making it to where, it just, like the other day, I admitted my wrongs, I held myself accountable, and I moved on.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold myself accountable for what I did.
Right.
Because I shared messages I should have never done. And that's my accountability right there. Because
okay, then if they can't accept your accountability, again, they've got this nice, lovely button on here. And if they're going to come into sneakies, they're going to run out of sneakies sooner or later. Just move on for mental health purposes. Mental health, people that don't want to hear it, that are in your life, just move on.
Right.
That's all I can say, hon, is move on. Family or not. I have family that I love with all my heart. Wouldn't wish any bad ill on them. Do we talk? No. Do we go to family functions? No. But if we go to like a family reunion, you stay on your side, I stay on mine. Hey, we're good.
But that's where everybody's and I'm going to put it like this, that's where everybody's hating me on, is because I'm trying to keep myself physically and mentally okay by putting people and my family at arm's length. Because like I told you yesterday, and I told a bunch of other people yesterday, I had a physical and mental crash out yesterday. I was starting to delete stuff off my laptop. It's because when I ask people to leave me alone, they can't seem to do that. I recently just found out that My family has been watching my page this entire time. So it's like I private my account for a little while and then open it back up because I have my account for my gaming stuff. I'm moving on. That's what I got the laptop for. Everybody kept telling me, find a hobby. I found one. You know? And it's still not working, right? Anytime, it's like the other day, I ended up with 6 messages from my sister on Facebook. And I'm like, go away. Like,
Well,
I'm trying to
Facebook,
fix myself mentally, but so do you.
Facebook's
And
got
having
that
us
lovely button
together,
too.
right?
Our book
And
of face.
having us together is gonna make us bump heads. I blocked the account. I'm not playing this game. But I also took pictures and sent them to my therapist because I'm gonna have records that show that they are the ones that won't leave me alone when I've asked for them to leave me alone, right?
They are, and I know what you're talking about. They probably are having trouble releasing the pain, and
I understand
that's
that.
on them, you know. But Jen, you guys got to leave it off this app, and if you don't want it, again, I'm gonna keep saying it. There's this button,
Right.
and move
But
on.
I'm not. But also, like, I'm not. It's why I was trying to phrase my wording in a way where I'm not bringing anything to an app. It's I'm emotionally, mentally, and physically at a point where I want to put this out there and put it out there, and then it's done. It's just like everybody kept saying for them. They want to be able to put theirs out there, so should I, right? But I'm not sitting here picking fights and calling people names and doing this and doing that. I'm stating how I feel, right? And then moving on. Again, right? That's what I want. And I want to start using my TikTok to be able to stream when I play Fortnite and stream when I play Diablo 3 or Minecraft. But I don't want the drama coming into my life, right? And I know there's a such thing as a block button. And I'm going to start using it. I'm not going to lie.
That's the best thing to do, and just stay away. Be the bigger person, and just. I got the best
That's what I'm trying to
advice.
do.
I got the best advice the other day from a couple of people, and one of the people were from that group, and I'm using that. Do me. Flourish. Do me. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Do me. Okay, it hurts. I'm over it. I was just as bad, if not worse. But then I come to find out that it wasn't me. It wasn't physically me. But am I going to go to that other person and say why and dig it all up? No. Just leave it be. It's over.
Right.
It's over. I'm not going to sit and make myself physically, mentally ill. But I'm taking that advice that a lot of people gave me the other day, and I'm moving on. Move on.
Okay, but and I'm not gonna argue about it, but everybody else got to put their stories out there, right?
Right.
Everybody
You're allowed
got
to.
state their opinions and their feelings and stuff. This is me doing that, right?
Right.
This is me stating this and then moving on. Because I'm not gonna keep doing this, right? Right?
Right.
Like, this is I've come to a point in my life where if people don't want to be here, then don't. I didn't ask for people to be here. Right?
Right.
But if you want to be here, then be here. Right?
And people can't pick other people's friends.
Exactly. But, and I hate putting it like this, but I've had a few people bring it to me. I'm not going to mention names. That's what my family does, is they're trying to pick my friends for me. My biggest thing is I don't do that for them. You know, I don't hate on nobody for being friends with whoever they want to. But it doesn't mean I have to sit at that same table, right?
Right. Well, you can eat in the same home, just not at my table.
Exactly.
I
I've
love
learned a
that
lot.
saying.
I've learned a lot from other lives about, you know, what the drama looks like and what what is it that people want to benefit from it, right?
And believe me, we were in some shit drama.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. You know, but we're not gonna bring it here, right? Like, we're having conversation, like, about the feeling of everything. And the reason why I'm being so transparent is so people can't take it and run with it, right?
Feelings do matter.
They
just
do.
like mental health matters.
They do, of course. And everybody's opinion, in my opinion, everybody's opinion matters.
And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Some are small, some are big.
Some are the size of a pumpkin, not gonna lie. Anyway.
You know, just like I was asked, that I still talk to you. Yeah, we talk. Just because you're ain't friends with them doesn't mean I can't. But am I going to be one to run back and say, hey, this person said this, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da? No.
And I made that
Absolutely
mistake. And I need to not do that. I made that mistake. That's my accountability for that.
That's stirring the fucking pot.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did. And
you know, do what I did, you know. Go on, battle, do your gaming. Battling is absolutely fun. It is a heyday. I have a confidant on here that helped me do that. And you know, as you know, my daughter, she also did the same thing. Just do you, baby, do you. Screw the world, do you.
right.
And I'm only being honest. So if anybody's looking on here, I'm just giving my advice that I was given a couple of days ago. I'm not being vindictive or hurtful, or don't come to me and say,
Right. That's not even what I'm doing
me
either.
in. I'm not looking for drama. I don't want drama. I want to love I love everybody the same. Whether you're a drama maker or you're not, I love you the same. What happened in your real life is what happened in your real life. What happened in my real life is my real life. I'm not bringing no hate, no nothing. I love everybody equally. I'm not going to be in the drama. I'm going to just drop down, and I'm not even, if I'm not in the chat, I'm going to leave. Because I just don't want it. And that's my choice as me,
Right.
as little itty bitty.
Right. And you know, I'm hearing your opinion and your feeling on it, you know, and I respect you for being who you are, right? And
Jen, for your mental health, for your sanity, use that button.
I've tried that though.
You can only stand on a mountaintop and scream for so long. And if it's been so long, that my advice for you now is start climbing down that mountain. And as you climb down that mountain, start healing yourself. I know that isn't probably what you want to hear.
But this is me trying to do that. This is my way of trying to do that, right? This is my way of trying to do that. This is me. And this is where everybody gets so conflicted with me, because the way I move on and move forward with things, and my man will even tell you too, I do it differently because it's my way of moving forward, right?
And you're entitled to that. Your way is your way. My way was doing what I did.
Right. Right. And I was there and I supported you through that whole thing.
Yep.
And I would do it again.
I'm just trying to give you the best advice. I'm trying to hand you the advice that was handed to me. Whether you take it or leave it, that's up to you.
Right. And I'm not disagreeing on what you're saying, not at all. But in order for me to move forward, and it took me a few days to think about this, right? I did take a few days to think about it, and
Right. And I know that.
it beats me up to have to do this, but I feel like it's because there's a lot, and I know I shouldn't care what other people think, and I don't.
You're fine.
There's a lot running around here that I've never done, never said, never. And there's people around here that think they know me that I've never even met before, okay? So, I'm like, huh? Like a lot of the narratives that people running around about my sister's story, and me trying to shut her down for her story. I never did that. I never wanted that. And if that's how that made her feel, that's not what I wanted. Right?
At this time, I think the issue between you and your sister should be taken offline.
I tried that already, and she yelled at me, so...
Oh, well, sometimes you have to take that yell. Sometimes you got, that's them taking, you have to respect.
But also, for me to take my accountability, they need to take theirs for the things that they've done and said as well, right?
Right.
But they won't.
Well,
the fact that they've talked crap on my friends, they've talked crap on my family and the family that I created, sitting there saying that people are condoning my behavior. Nobody is condoning my behavior. I am the only one that is allowed to make my own behavior, right?
Right.
I'm the only one who's allowed to make the choices for myself, right?
Right.
So who's condoning what where? Right?
Like I said, again.
People can tell me to not do something, but I'm still going to do it anyway. No different than everybody said about my family and the things that they do. They can give them their advice, but it doesn't mean it's going to hold, right?
And please don't take this the wrong way. Maybe they're not ready to hold themselves accountable. Maybe they're not ready to come out with their apologies. You can't drag that out of them. You got to give them the time.
But I'm also not going to sit around and watch it, right?
The only way, stay away from it.
I'm trying to, but then I'm called a bad sister because I dropped out of all that, right?
So what?
Exactly, right? That's where like that line between I have to figure out, what's best for not just my mental health, but theirs as well. Because me fighting them isn't helping their mental health either, right?
You're fighting them, though, being one person, and they're having a army. Jen, my only advice, I have to get out of here.
I don't want an army to fight for me. I don't want anybody to fight for me. I'm not going to lie. Because if I've made the mistakes I made, I have to own those things, right?
Right.
Not adding other people to fight those for me, because it's not their fight to fight, right?
Right.
And I've told people this time and time again, don't fight for me. If I wanted to fight, I would have fought for myself.
Well,
I don't need anybody else to do it.
Right. I have to jump out of here. I've got things to do, hon.
Okay.
Just please know that I'm not attacking you.
Of course.
I am still your friend.
Of course.
I still love you and Pay. You know that.
Her birthday is tomorrow. She will be the big 8 years old tomorrow.
Well, we'll have to get on our backup, and so that way Auntie Biddy can say hi. But like I said, I love all people the same.
Right.
So if anybody's in here watching, please don't come after me.
They shouldn't, because you
these are
didn't say anything harmful. You were
these are Jen's feelings. I was just merely up here to state, try giving her some advice.
right.
But I'm gonna get out of here, hon, and you have an amazing day.
You too.
And like I said, you can take my advice or you can leave it at the door. It doesn't
Right.
bother me one bit, and I'm not gonna judge.
Right. But like
Okay?
I'm gonna say that this live is going to go on YouTube. I want to forewarn you, because this is going to be the one and only time I'm saying this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also, no one can twist what you say about what you said, because nothing you said was horrible. Not towards me and not towards anybody else.
Right. I'm just being me. I'm being the lovable Biddy.
Right.
And that's how I'm gonna be on this app. I'm not gonna bring out this ugly character, because I'm not an ugly character.
Yeah.
Not even in real life.
Yep.
All right?
Okay.
But you have an amazing day, hon.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. I think I turned off multicast. I don't know. Moderators? Did I turn it off? Okay. And the only reason why I let Biddy up into here was because I kind of figured she had some wisdom to share. I'm not attaching on her for that. Not at all. Originally, I did not want anybody in a box. Because I was going to state my feelings and move forward. She has great advice. She really does. And she's not the only one who's told me to just keep moving forward. I've had my friends who've been around this entire time, who's been in the background watching. And I mess up just like any person does. But again, as I say, all the time, hold on. Where was I going with this? I made notes. Bear with me, guys. So as I said, taking the pictures, normally they only went to my therapist to mainly talk about maybe there might be better ways to word certain things, right? As I've said before, I am only human. So sometimes things that come out my mouth is hurtful or harmful or can hurt people's feelings. And I've always been that kind of person. I don't sugarcoat it for nobody. And I shouldn't have to, right? And I've talked with my therapist and I've talked with other people about the ways that I can fix my relationship with my sisters, right? And the only way it can start is if it's a relationship they want to fix too, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a perfect sister and that I was the most amazing sister ever. I'm not saying none of that, because I am far from a perfect sister. Yes, there were things I weren't there for that maybe I should have been. But, and I put the but in there because I want people to understand that when I be there for my sisters, I'm not wanting to be there for all of their friends and this person over here and their neighbor, right? And my biggest thing, and I have a lot of conflict with some of the people that my sisters are friends with. There's probably only one I don't have a conflict with. There's another one I don't really know. But also the one that I don't have the conflict with is she does try to understand. But again, she's more trying to help me understand Amanda without fully understanding me, right? And again, I'm going to say this. You know who you are when I say this, right? I'm not dogging on you. I'm not calling you a bad person, because you're not. I understand that you're trying to do what you think is best for your friend. But in all reality, you could be hurting the relationship as well. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you could be hurting that relationship, right? As for my relationships with my sisters, it's always been one-sided. I've always been there for them. And this is my feeling. I've never felt like they were more there for me, right? I've always felt one-sided with them. I've tried to get them to understand that, but it doesn't seem to work. And as, you know, even Biddy even said, you can't force a relationship if both sides aren't ready for it, right? You can't force something if someone's not ready to have that relationship or that talk, right? And that's kind of where I sit here and it's like, you know, I have to back away, which is why I use the block button, because it's my way of, like, not in tuning myself to the drama, not in tuning myself to what's going on. But also in the same sense, I do eat myself up, because then I truly don't know what's going on, right? I don't know who's going after this person or that person and why my sisters are feeling a specific way. And I only get one-sided conversations, right? I only get the side from my sisters, right? My biggest thing is I've always been the person that's conflict is conflict. You know, it's like me. I started a conflict. That was on me, right? I started that. That was my fault. And now I've learned that, yeah, we're not doing that again, right? A lot of the reason that I walked away from my sisters was because of a lot of the attention and the drama that was happening on this app, right? And this isn't me pulling that drama towards myself. It's more I'm self-explaining what's happening, what's going on, what's this, right? And I've had a lot of people, and I'm not going to mention names, I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me for dirt and drama on my sisters. Did I give in to them? Yeah, I did. When I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I sure did. I fed into it. And that is my fault. And that is something in this life that I will eventually have to learn on my own, right? That's not something we do, right? I have parted my ways with my sisters to kind of dissipate that from happening, right? To not feed into whatever's going on. And I know me being friends with certain people kind of make that impossible. I'm not gonna lie. But it also takes two, right? You know, it takes the person to ask the question, but then it also takes the person to answer, right? When someone cuts off that, like, let's say someone asks the person the question, but that person goes, no, I'm not going to answer that. That's not okay. We're not going to go there, right? That's where my link of that isn't connecting, right? I should say disconnecting, not connecting, disconnecting. There's a lot to talk about, guys. Seriously. I've been having mental breakdowns, you know, being around my family and talking with my family. I have to work mentally for myself to be able to have these conversations like people are telling me to do, right? I have to learn when to say something and when not to, right? Like, those are the things that I am still working on, and it is very hard to not put yourself in the middle, if you see what I mean, right? It's you want to be seen, and you want to be heard, and you want to be a part of all this, and that's where that attention comes in. I'm not going to sit there and say I don't beg and ask for attention. Trust me, I do. And there are certain places and certain people that I can get that attention from, just not here, right? Because so many people are so, and there's nothing against being caught up in the drama, because I love watching it. I just don't like being a part of it, okay? I'm gonna be for real. I do want to clear one thing up about my sister. A rumor that's been running around that I've said certain things and I've done certain things, this, that, and the third, right? I'm going to clear this up, and this is going to be the only time I talk about it, and it is going to be my last. So if anybody hears that I go live, anything like that, don't assume it's about y'all, because it ain't. Okay? Because this is going to be my one and only time I talk about this, and this is not the first time I've said it, right? Because obviously I got to say it for the people in the back or the people who are hard-headed, obviously. Okay? I do feel my sister, and I should put it this way, I do see in my sister that something did happen to her with an essay, right? And I know a lot of people have hate towards me because I have my opinion on it, right? My opinion comes off factual stuff that I've done before, previously. Research that I've done, talking to said person. If you know, you know, right? Conversations I've sat down and had with said person, which is none of anybody's business, and if you come asking for it, I'm going to tell you to go keep asking a wall, because you ain't getting it from here. Let's be for real, right? I can't say what I really want to say to your face, but still. We're going to keep it TikTok friendly, okay? As for that, I'm going to say this again. My sister, I do and see the hurt and the pain that she was essayed. Now, when it comes to said person, I've done my research. I've looked into it. I've asked said person themselves. I'm not going to say who, what, where, when, or why. I don't care, right? But I'm going to say it again. She was essayed, but not by the person she was saying she was essayed by. This is the last time I'm going to say it, and if this narrative is going to keep going around that I said that she wasn't, go to my YouTube, because this is where that's going to be, right? This is my last time that I'm going to talk about this, because mentally, this has been finding the words to say. Mentally, I am crashing out, is the best way of putting it. I have been having panic attacks more frequently. Mentally, I've been just not even here mentally, if you want me to be completely honest. I'm not going to talk about the thoughts that I've had, because it's nobody's business, it's my own. I don't need the attention, I don't want it, okay? Let's be for real, right? Mentally, this has taken a toll on me this whole year. Mentally, this has taken a toll on me. And I can't keep defending people who won't stop talking about it, right? I say what I say. Is a lot of it messed up? Yeah. I'm not going to disagree. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. Man, this is this is getting to a point where I am mentally getting tired right now. You know, and people can try to get me in trouble for that. People can hate me for it. That's completely fine. But I'm stepping away mentally from my family because I can't mentally do this anymore. I can't mentally do the drama. I can't mentally do this group talking about that group and that group talking about that group come to me, that group come to me to find out information about who and what and where and why. Mentally, I can't do it, okay? Stop coming to me on Reddit. Stop coming to me on TikTok. Stop coming to me on Snapchat. Mentally, if this is what's going to keep happening, I'm just going to start deleting my accounts. I'm going to become a hermit, okay? I should be able to enjoy this app no different than everybody else should, right? So please, and this is me asking, not so much asking, this is me telling. I'm gonna put it as telling. Leave me the F alone. And if you can't do that, I will start blocking you. If you cannot leave me alone, you want to go after my sisters, go ahead, but leave me out of it. Please. I have tried to protect my sisters. I have. In the background. That they didn't even know about. That I wasted my time. Because yet they're still going, right? And this is me also getting pissed off, so I'm gonna come back down. Jennifer, calm down. You know, you're good. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself cognitively and get it out there, right? But again, I am not standing by my sisters for what they're doing. But also I'm not standing by anybody else by what they're doing either. Okay? As for this, let me make sure this is all my notes I have. Yep, that's all my notes. I had to write down, you know, bullet points. Because otherwise Jen goes left and right. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll go left and then I'll go down the rabbit hole right. You know what I mean? So I had to put it in perspective. And again, I'm going to state this. I cannot control what my family does or anybody else on this app does, right? We can't control people, right? But this is the last time that I am talking about this. This is the last time that I'm saying anything about it. You ask me about my family, I will start blocking you. No if, no and, no buts. We're not having conversation about it no more. Jen signing out. Have a good day. Hope everyone has a great Halloween. I know I will. And have a good day, night, evening, whatever. I know I live in different area codes than most people, so, you know, there's that. But, goodbye.